Hey everyone, Updog here, and today I have a interesting video for you. Well, maybe interesting for you. I don't know. Some people might like it, some people might not. But I was given the some of the lore of Marvel Strike Force, written out by the Council of Watchers. One of the leads over there. I think you pronounce his name Hrogan. Or Hrogan, maybe. But anyway, him and I have been chatting a lot lately, and he was able to get this translated from Russian into English. So I thought I would do him a favor and present some of the lore that he has. He has over 48 pages worth of lore from the game, and so I thought I would break it down into chunks and do a little video series on the lore. So first up is the very first big bad of the game is Ultimus. So a little prehistory on Ultimus. Ard Khan is one of the representatives of the Eternal Kree. The Eternal Kree is an evolutionary offshoot of the Kree people. They were created through genetic experiments by the Celestials, a race of nearly immortal beings who stand at the origins of universes. They have a small population and powerful abilities to manipulate external and internal energies. The Celestials conduct similar experiments on many worlds. On Earth, variations of the Earth Eternals, deviants, who are monstrous beings with constantly evolving abilities, and mutants, who are a byproduct that appeared later after the Celestials' departure, were created. Ard Khan and other Eternal Kree often traveled through space, and one of their journeys led them to Earth approximately 4,000 years ago. They arrived in the land of the Celts, and the arrival point later became known as Stonehenge. The Celts mistakenly took them for gods and started to worship them, and Stonehenge became a place of worship as well. Over time, the Eternal Kree left Earth, but Ard Khan decided to stay on the planet. However, Ard Khan's freedom on Earth was put into jeopardy. After 1,000 years of peaceful life, he encouraged a powerful super deviant named Lord Tantalus. Tantalus defeated Ard Khan and sealed him within a stone block, which later became part of London's underground, underneath London. Ard Khan remained there in a state of suspended animation for about 3,000 years. In 1962, Thor arrived in London, and at that time he still maintained his incognito status of Donald Blake, a surgeon from the United States. Landing in an alley, he struck Mjolnir against the ground to transform into Donald Blake. He did this not too far from where Ultimus was buried, and the body of the Eternal Kree was exposed to the mystical radiation emitted by Mjolnir during Thor's transformation. This brought Ard Khan back to consciousness. Soon, the alien broke through the ground. Thor came face to face with a horrifying giant figure that immediately rendered him unconscious. The British Army joined forces with Thor to capture Ard Khan. During the confrontation, Thor discovered that Ard Khan's true intention was to reach a portal located at Stonehenge, which would allow him to leave Earth. Realizing this, Thor ceased the battle and allowed Ard Khan to fulfill his plan. Ard Khan departed for his home planet of Hala through the portal. Ard Khan missed the region of space he was aiming for and ended up on a small barren planetoid, aimlessly drifting for about 40 years. Contemplating his situation, he was finally found by the supreme intelligence of the Kree, which is a supercomputer created and constantly augmented by the minds of the most remarkable Kree individuals. They sought ways to enhance the Kree race. The Supreme Intelligence promised Ard Khan that it had answers to his questions and dubbed him Ultimus. The Supreme Intelligence orchestrated a war between the Kree and the Shi'ar empires in an attempt to revive the evolutionary lineage of its race. According to the Supreme Intelligence, the Kree had reached an evolutionary threshold and had ceased to evolve, but knew that catastrophes, particularly wars, would surpass such a threshold. The Shi'ar Empire is an extensive collection of alien species, cultures, and worlds. Although the Empire consists of hundreds of thousands of different sentient species and worlds, the Shi'ar race controls and governs the Empire. They are cold-blooded, avian humanoids resembling humans with feathered crests instead of hair. The Shi'ar is one of the three major extraterrestrial empires alongside the Kree and the Skrulls, who is another race that emerged from the celestial experiments, but in their case the deviants emerged victorious in the species struggle. However, the Shi'ar is the youngest and most powerful empire among the three. The ruling lineage of the empire is the Naramani bloodline. The current ruler, or magistrix, is Lalandra Naramani. Due to the ongoing wars with the Skrulls and the Kree, Lalandra ordered the creation of a so-called negabomb to be used as a last resort for mass destruction. The goal of the Supreme Intelligence was to compel the Shi'ar to activate the negabomb over the Kree's home world, Hala. It knew that the explosion would claim the lives of the majority of the population, but the surviving Kree's DNA would be altered, allowing them to evolve. To carry out this mission, the Supreme Intelligence assembled various Kree individuals from the Empire and formed a team known as Star Force. The team consisted of Ultimus, as we had talked about, and there was also Captain Atlas, a mighty warrior and decorated captain of the Kree armed forces. There was Minerva, a blue-skinned Kree, a scientist, geneticist, and spy. There was Korath the Pursuer, an extraordinary cyborg geneticist and one of the architects of the Kree Pursuer Project. There was Shatterax, a cold and calculating hunter, a cybernetically enhanced Kree warrior, and Supremor, or Supremor maybe, an android resembling the Supreme Intelligence in appearance. Following the orders of the Supreme Intelligence, the Star Force team was sent to seek revenge against the Shi'ar Empire, which had attempted to kill, in air quotes, the Supreme Intelligence. Using teleportation, the team infiltrated the Shi'ar Palace, where Ultimus attacked Lalandra. However, the team failed to accomplish their intended mission, and as a result, Ultimus and Star Force were captured and sentenced to death. Everything changed when it was revealed that the Shi'ar advisor, Araki, had been replaced by an undercover Skrull. Lalandra discovered that the Skrull Empire had aided in instigating the war between the Kree and the Shi'ar, and so she freed Ultimus and his team to gather information on the Skrull's plans. However, the bomb was seized by the Skrulls and detonated at the heart of the Kree Empire. It claimed the lives of countless billions and devastated the Empire as well. The ravaged and weakened Kree Empire was annexed by the Shi'ar Empire. The Star Force merged with the Imperial Guard of the Shi'ar, which was the elite military for the Shi'ar. Deathbird, who was Lalandra's sister, was granted the right to rule the conquered Kree Empire as its viceroy. After many years, when the Kree regained their independence, Ultimus and Star Force deserted and disappeared into an unknown direction. Ultimus changed his armor and his life goals after this. He decided it was best to rule everything himself rather than obey higher rulers, learning to travel between universes using a portal he created using a suppressor which allowed him to subjugate heroes and villains from different universes, conquer their worlds, and turn them into sources of resources for future conquests. One day, Ultimus invaded the realm of Val, the guardian of afterlife realm of Valhalla, which welcomes glorious warriors who have fallen in battle. Ultimus defiled mighty villains in order to recruit them into his army and invade Valhalla. Val crushes the enemies one by one, taking their weapons and armor as trophies. Val confronts Ultimus and bravely battles him, delivers a powerful blow, and even knocks out his eye. But Ultimus proves to be too strong. The Asgardians fall in battle, and Ultimus defiles the remaining untouched corners of this universe, moving on to conquer new worlds. However, Ultimus is unaware that Vol survived the battle. After conquering that realm, Ultimus continues his quest to conquer the Nexus Earth, gaining access not only to adjacent dimensions, but to any place he chooses. So yeah, I hope you guys like that. If you did, leave a comment down below. I'd appreciate it. I do have, like I said, let's see, about 42 more pages of different lore within the game. So if you'd like to hear more, just let me know. Big thanks again to the Council of Watchers and Hrogan, and I will catch you guys next time.